Hey there, it's September 9th, 2023, and this is my second video from our farm here in Denmark. Since the last video, I've gotten myself a selfie stick, and now I just need to figure out how to use it. I can see that there's a shadow on my shirt because it's actually evening here and the sun is fairly low in the sky. Let me see if I can fix that. So, if you saw the first video, you can probably tell that I can be a little bit of a nerd. And people who know me fairly well, or people who knew me as a kid, can tell you that I love bugs. And here I don't just mean a particular entomological group of insects, I mean all insects. Actually all arthropods, which is this huge group of organisms that have their skeletons on the outside and lots of jointed legs. Now, I also love plants, and a lot of insects like plants, and some insects love the plants that we love a little too much. However, fortunately, there are lots of insects that like to chow down on those insects. But very often, it's the larvae, the young of those insects, that do most of the munching on those insects that we would call pests in those situations. The adults have very different dietary needs. For instance, the adults of lacewings and hoverflies and many predatory wasps all feed on nectar, like bees and butterflies. But unlike a lot of bees and butterflies, these insects don't have the mouth parts to negotiate complex flower architectures. So they do better on more open, flatter flowers. And a really good food source for these insects here in September is yarrow, which I'd like to show you now. Growing around and up through the leaves of this pumpkin vine is yarrow, Achillea millefolium. The genus Achillea got its name from none other than the father of scientific binomial nomenclature himself, the physician, botanist, zoologist, and perhaps most significantly, taxonomist Carl Linnaeus. The name refers to the hero of Homer's Iliad, Achilles, who is said to have learned to use herbs to heal soldiers' wounds. It is now believed that the herb that's referred to was yarrow. Now, if we look closely, we can understand why the species epithet millefolium, thousand-leaved, was chosen, because of the many frond-like leaves of the plant. Now let's look at the flowers. When we zoom out, we are presented with what appears to be a single large flower head. However, when we zoom in a little closer, we notice that there are what appear almost to be small daisies. These are actually a composite of ray flowers and disc flowers. We don't need to get into the details of what this all means, but the composite nature of yarrow's flowers is characteristic of the aster family to which it belongs, which previously went by the name Compositae. The many nectaries in the aster family composite flowers and their shallow axis make them a good general food source for many different kinds of insects. This family includes many familiar wild and cultivated flowers, from dandelions to daisies to dahlias, sunflowers, and of course, asters. Now, common wild yarrow is distributed across the northern hemisphere, with many local native subspecies. It is typically white in the wild, but I can show you a specimen nearby that is tending towards pink. Here we go. Now, as a cultivated plant, yarrow comes in a wide range of colors, from reds to yellows to oranges and rust. Here is a red cultivar that has seen better days and is now ripening for seed. So in the wild, yarrow spreads readily from seeds, but if it's to be grown ornamentally in a garden, it should be sown shallowly since the seeds require sunlight to germinate. It can also spread rhizomatously, that is, by root stolons. So by giving room to open composite flowers, like this yellow chamomile here, we can help create habitat for insects that can do a lot of the hard work for us when it comes to controlling those insects we would prefer not to see decimate our cabbages and our chili peppers. Well, that's it for this time. I'll try to include some useful information in the video description, and feel free to chime in about yarrow or insects or any other friendly topic in the comment section. Bye for now.